Have you ever screwed up so badly and in so many ways you don't even know what angle to begin trying to fix things from? I copy and pasted those words in a text and fired it off to a few people the very lonely, sad morning of November 12th, 2017. My cryptic words definitely piqued the interest and concern of my friends as I explained that I'd spent the night before in an ER in California without my phone, keys, wallet, or a single soul with me. The embarrassing and traumatic story of how I landed myself in the ER cost me my membership within an ASU organization and the trust and respect of a lot of people. But more importantly, it taught me how to be resilient. I was on a bus with an ASU student organization I was a member of at the time. We were heading to California for a game against UCLA at the Rose Bowl. Since my freshman year, I had been a dedicated member of this club. I loved what it afforded me to do, and the sense of community I felt had always elevated for me at college. So I enthusiastically attended all the meetings and events and was excited to bond with everyone on the trip. As we neared the venue, someone pulled out a bottle of cranberry juice, which in reality was more vodka than it was cranberry juice. And after passing the bottle around, irresponsibly losing track of how much I was consuming, I blacked out. I blacked out to the point where paramedics picked me up from the tailgate, took me to the ER, where I woke up hours later, without any of my belongings, without any friends, and with an IV in my arm. After an ashamed bus ride home and a very difficult phone call with my parents, I sent that cryptic text we talked about earlier and an honest, apologetic email to the advisor of my club. I asked her if I could explain what happened so she heard about it from no one other than me and so I could attempt to redeem myself. When I met with her later that week, I was asked to leave the organization. I sobbed in front of her, her superior, and the club president. Though on a lighter note, I actually think I look kind of cute when I cry, so enjoy this peace sign selfie of me documenting the moment. Mascara streaking my face, my stomach in knots, I walked home from the meeting. I ran into a friend from the club who hugged me and held me and told me it was all going to be okay. I definitely didn't believe her in the moment, but believe it or not, she was right. Fast forward to winter break, a month later, which I spent recovering from a painful surgery. During this semester, I recognized that hardworking, passionate students often compartmentalize certain tasks as things to do during break, like working on stuff for extracurriculars, side projects or hustles, whatever. This happens not only because we're prioritizing classes and meetings during the semester, but because of our seeming fixation with working on something productive 100% of the time, specifically things which tie us to other people and communities. I needed a new club. I needed a new way to occupy my time with people who wanted to do the same things as me, right? I scoured ASU's resources deep in the throes of pain meds and Gatorade after surgery. And when I wasn't very successful or interested in anything, I questioned myself. Does club culture prevent us from taking care of ourselves? Does this sense of dependence on productivity and community distract us from self-betterment or self-fulfillment? In my case, yes. Instead of joining a new club, I spent the second semester of junior year in an 8-hour-per-week LSAT prep class and went to the gym every day. Seriously, you can ask anyone who was friends with me last spring. The gym and the LSAT both became my personality. They still are, to an extent, because today, a little over a year after I sobbed in my advisor's office, I work out with a personal trainer, I'm going to law school, and at the risk of sounding trite, I'm genuinely happier and healthier than I've ever been. Though my departure from this organization was certainly not ideal, I am ultimately grateful it happened. The renaissance I made out of my messy situation taught me so much about the person I wanted to be and how to carve out the time to get there. Today, I can laugh at and appreciate a selfie I took documenting what was once intense pain. Today, I am a person who knows what it looks like to dedicate yourself holistically to moving forward in intensely productive, positive, and healthy ways. I made one of the most embarrassing mistakes of my life. At the time, I wasn't sure how I was going to recover. But after shifting my personal emphasis from clubs and communities to self-care and self-fulfillment, I did exactly that and more. No one is perfect. And speaking as someone who is particularly far from it, I look forward to practicing self-care and deep resilience the next time I may find myself in a situation as difficult.